Hello everybody, welcome back. I'm Lisa with Lisa Capen Quilts, and I hope that you are in the mood to make some quilted Christmas ornaments. Today we're going to be making this adorable angel quilted Christmas ornament. Isn't she so cute? Ooh, I love her. So in today's video, we're actually making these two ornaments, and I'm going to take you step by step. So this pattern is a 3-page PDF, and it does have colored pictures that walk you step by step. And one of the things I love about adding these pictures into the PDFs is it not only walks you through the steps, but if you don't have a color printer, you can open this up on your computer screen and zoom in to see the pictures really clear and in color. So if you don't have a color printer, that's one way that you could go through this pattern and actually see the pictures in color. So there's a 3-page PDF. And then there's 1 page of tracing templates, and I've already cut out my templates. It's just 3 easy shapes, so I did not do an SVG. Plus, when you cut out your templates, it comes with these little arrows that are going to come in really handy here in just a little bit. So 1 page PDF for the tracing templates, and y'all, you cut them out one time and you keep on using them. So that's excellent, and it's a time saver. And then the 3-page PDF. So this pattern actually walks you step by step on how to make this angel with a nice clean finished edge. Isn't she so cute? But as a bonus in this video at the end, I'm going to show you how to do the raw edge angel, which is so much easier and so much quicker too. So same steps, same materials as listed on the pattern, but it is a lot easier. So stay tuned to the end after we make this one together, because I'll show you how I do the raw edge version as well. So super quick project, super easy, and very, very cute, right? Let's go ahead and get started. To get started today, I have the fabric pieces to make 2 angels. We're going to be making a 4-patch to start with. So I'm going to layer my 4 fabrics. We're going to cut these to 3 inches wide and 4 inches long. So I'm just going to go through and cut my fabrics. And then we're going to arrange them in the layout that we want to make our 4-patch, just like this. 3 inches wide, 4 inches long. We're going to flip the pretty side over, and we're going to be sewing 2 seams to make our 4-patch right on the long side. At the sewing machine, we're going to match up the 4-inch, the longer side. We're going to match up those raw edges, and using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we're going to just sew both of these seams. Here's our first. And then we'll bring in the next set of 2 pieces, line up that raw edge, and sew top to bottom with a 1/4 inch seam. Once I'm done, I'm going to take these over and give them a press. I'm going to press my seams over to the dark side for each one of these 2 pieces. Once they're pressed, it looks just like this, and now I can nest that center seam and get a really pretty point right in the middle. We're going to flip the bottom half right over on top of the top half. And again, using a 1/4 inch seam allowance, we're going to sew these 2 patches and complete our 4-patch. Then I'll give this a press nice and flat, and we'll meet back at the cutting table. Now we're ready to assemble the body part of the angel. So we have our back fabric, our 4-patch, and our batting. We're going to lay the backing fabric with the pretty side facing up. We're going to take our 4-patch and put the pretty side facing the back fabric, just like that. And the batting we're going to lay right on top. Then we're going to take our template and we're going to arrange it onto all of these layers. Now I've made it a little bit bigger so that you can play around with where your template goes and how your 4-patch will appear on the front. Then I'm just going to take a pin and I'm going to pin all of these layers together. We're going to bring this over to the sewing machine, and we're going to sew a seam right next to the paper template, starting at 1 arrow, going all the way around and stopping at the next. At the sewing machine, I've switched over to an open toe foot so you can see my stitch. We're going to lower the needle right at the first arrow, right next to the paper, into all of our layers. I'm going to take a couple of stitches forward, and I'm going to back stitch to lock that in place. Right next to the paper, we're going to sew all the way around. Until we get back to the second arrow where we're going to stop and take some back stitches to lock that in place. And that's going to be the opening where we're going to turn this right side out. After sewing, we can remove the template and trim all the extra fabric from around the body of the angel. You can use regular scissors, but today I'm going to be using the pinking shears because we have some turned edges, and I think that just makes everything lay a little bit flatter. Then we're going to turn this angel right side out. I like to use the blunt end of a ballpoint pen or a pencil to help me flip everything right side out. And then using my finger, I just smooth out all of those seams. We're going to tuck the opening right inside to give us a nice, clean, finished edge. It might be helpful to trim off the extra batting at the opening. And then we're going to press this nice and flat. To make the head of the angel, we're going to go through the same steps, backing pretty side up, top pretty side down, lay our batting on top, and then our head template. Because it's a little bit smaller, I'm just going to take a little bit of glue stick on the back side. Instead of pinning it, I'll just glue baste it right in place. It's just temporary. It'll come off. And we bring this to the sewing machine and sew once more. Just like we did with the body of the angel, we're going to start at one arrow, do a couple back stitches to lock it in place, and then sew all the way around the paper template until we get to this second arrow, and then again back stitching to lock it in place. Then we can just remove the paper template and set it aside to make another angel. We're going to go ahead and trim off all the extra fabric, going all the way around, being really careful not to snip into those stitches. And then we can turn our head right side out. Again, I'm just going to use this ballpoint pen, the blunt edge of it, and turn the head right side out, smoothing out those seams. We're going to take the opening of the head and fit it right inside the opening of the body, all the way down right inside. Just like this, and I'm going to take a straight pin and just pin these two pieces together so that we can bring it over to the sewing machine. Once we're at the sewing machine, we're going to be using a straight stitch. I'm just going to hold these pieces in place and remove that pin so it's not in our way. Now I'm going to increase the stitch length to a 3.0 on my sewing machine just to allow for the thickness right here in this seam where we've tucked the head of the angel into the body. You might want to do a back stitch here. I totally forgot. But we're going to just stitch right close to the top of the body, and that's going to lock the head in place. To give it a really completed look, I'm just going to continue this stitch all the way around the body of the angel, close to the edge, all the way around. And while we're right here, any quilting that you want to do on your angel, you can go ahead and do that at this time too. So I'm just going to do a straight stitch quilting on both sides of the seam, and that's how I'll quilt this angel. But this part is totally optional. Now all we have left to do is make some wings. To make the wings, we need 2 pieces of fabric and our heart template. So we're going to take the back fabric and lay that pretty side up, the top fabric with the pretty side facing down, and then our heart template. I'm just going to lay that right in place and use a pin to keep all of these layers together. No batting for the heart on this one. We're going to sew from one arrow all the way around to the next. Just like our previous pieces, we're going to sew right next to the paper template all the way around, starting and stopping at the 2 little arrows. Don't forget your little back stitch. We're going to be turning this heart right side out. After we're done, we're going to go ahead and trim away all the extra fabric from the shape of our heart. And then I'll take some scissors and just trim off the tip of the heart at the bottom and do a couple snips at the center of the heart to help it lay nice and flat. Then we're going to turn this right side out. Just using my fingers to reach in and smooth out those seams all the way around the shape of the heart. Then we're going to tuck that opening right inside. I'm going to bring this over to the iron and just give it a nice press. Using some polyfill, after it's pressed, I'm just going to add a little bit into the shape of the heart. Now I'm not stuffing it completely full, just a little bit of stuffing. And then we're going to bring this over to the sewing machine and sew all the way around the edge of the heart to close it up. Just using my fingers to keep everything in place and squishy that batting down. We're going to just do a straight stitch all the way around close to the edge of our heart, and that's going to sew together the opening where we stuffed our heart. And then once we get back to where we started, I'm just going to turn this heart and do a straight stitch from the tip of the heart down the center. With all of our pieces made, we're ready to take a piece of ribbon for our hanger. I'm going to take the cut ends and just tie that into a knot. And we're going to glue that right in the center of our heart. Today I'm going to be using some Fabri-Tac glue to glue my angel together, but you can also use a hot glue gun as well. So we have our ribbon glued into place. I thought she would be cute with a little lacy collar, so this part is optional. I'm going to take a piece of lace and glue it right down to the back side of our angel, just like this. And then we're going to glue the angel right onto our wings. So I'm just going to hold that in place and flip her over and add some fabric glue right where she sits onto the wings. And there she is. I'm just going to take some clips and clip her into place while she's drying. Isn't she so cute? So we're going to let her dry. Just going to set her aside, and now we're going to make the raw edge angel. Same angel, just a little bit of a different process, and this process goes by very quickly. So we have the pieces for our angel. We're going to lay the back of our angel with the pretty side facing down this time. Then our batting. And our 4 patch we're going to bring in and put pretty side facing up. So just like a quilt sandwich. We'll bring in our template and position that where we would like it on the 4 patch. and we're going to pin that in place. Now to speed up the video, I'm going to not show the sewing process this time, but instead of leaving an opening where the arrows are, we're going to sew the complete shape all the way around. So no opening. Then we can take some scissors, or like I'm doing here, some pinking shears. Just trim all the extra fabric all the way around the shape of our angel's body. The pinking shears give a cute little edge. I think that's adorable. We're just going to trim all this extra fabric off. If you want to do any quilting to your angel, now's the time. You can bring it in and do some quilting if you want. And then we're going to assemble the head of our angel. So we're going to take our back fabric and lay that pretty side down. Put the batting in the middle and our top fabric with the pretty side facing up. Again, I'm just going to glue baste the head in place because it's so small. And we're going to sew all the way around the entire head shape. And again, we're not going to leave an opening all the way around. So I've quilted the body of our angel. Now we can remove the paper template and pink all the way around the head shape. You can use regular scissors too. That's just as cute. And now we can prepare the wings. So you can stuff them like we did in the first one, or you can layer them like I'm doing here with the batting in the middle and then sewing all the way around the heart shape. So I'm just going to pink the edges all the way around on the wings. You can also quilt the wings if you'd like. For this one, I'm going to just leave them the way they are. And now we can assemble the angel and glue the pieces together. So I'll bring in my ribbon and with the 2 cut ends, tie a knot. We're going to glue it just like we did the first one, right in the center of the heart shape. Then we'll bring in the body of the angel and add a little bit of glue. And then the head of our angel. What I love about this project are there's so many different variances you could do. Stuffed wings, unstuffed, quilted, not quilted, and they're all super cute. So here is our raw edge angel. I think she turned out fabulous. I think she's adorable. So cute, and a lot faster than this first one. The first one's glue, so we can remove those clips, but here's our first one too. I also love the fact that there's so many different ways that you could embellish these angels, like adding a little lace collar, maybe adding a little appliqued heart at the bottom of the little angel's body. That would be adorable. Let me bring in this first one that I made. So super cute project. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today and making these quilted angel ornaments. Until I see you next time, have fun creating. Bye everybody.